Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hall of Fame Challenge. My name is Casey Sports, and I'm sorry I am a little bit ill again. We're coming up now, one game from the very end of this season, like the traditional part of the season before we go into these playoffs. And see, we're in fifth place. We've not had the greatest of runs towards the end of the season. But I was very interested in this. We have the third best goal scored, the fifth worst goals conceded, which isn't great. We also have the most cards, both yellow and red cards, which isn't great. But it kind of shows that this team has been very good at just breaking down teams with very aggressive, very in your face. Not the fish shoes I was thinking of, I was going to say. In terms of player stats, we're still looking good. Elliot Evans with our top goals this season, and Led Williams still the highest average rating as well as the most assists, which is great seeing. Aled Williams, I think he's turned 17 now. Yeah, he just turned 17. Being a vital part of this team now for 2 years, wanted by the new Saints, unsurprisingly. Very great the developments he's had under us, and he's had a quite, in my opinion, a quite realistic sort of wonder kid type of seasons. 12 goals, 6 assists, 7 goals, 5 assists now with 9 games less played. And it's really good because you kind of see, he isn't scoring a goal a game, not even a goal every other game, but he's not far off of it. Here we're getting a goal every 3 games. He's also getting those assists. And he's just a pretty constant threat. And I love seeing that. Best pass completion is Craig Pritchard. He's been a great signing for us. Again, a player who doesn't look that great sort of technically, but everything else steps up so well. And that's something which I've always struggled with in FM, is finding those players who are sort of under the radar good. I don't think many people would have signed this player, and I certainly wouldn't have even a couple of years ago. And probably, if I managed another team, I don't think I'd have touched them. But this has been a very learned experience for me, figuring out what makes these players so good. The lack of composure, finishing, passing, vision. I wouldn't never have touched this player. But decisions, aggression, off the ball and work rate have made up for that so well. Most player of the matches is Tom Price and Elliot Evans. Unsurprisingly, Tom Price has continued to be one of the best players in our team, one of the most underrated parts of this squad. Has a great goal in him as well every sort of 10-20 games. So yeah, I'm very happy with how we're playing, but as I said, the results haven't been great. We left off, of course, after that 3-0 win against TNS, and we're going to be Clandudno 4-3 in a game which should have been more comfortable, but at least we still got the win, and we have progressed through to the quarterfinals of the Welsh Cup. Then a 1-1 draw against Pennybond. I wasn't obsessed about that at all. Us and Pennybond are quite close. And a 2-1 loss to Column Bay. Again, this is where maybe a few fears start to creep in. 2 games without a win though, nothing to worry about. And this 3-0 win over Newtown made me feel a hell of a lot better. Again, it felt like things were starting to pick up pace. But 2-0 loss to Carnarvon, second, fighting for top, you can't complain about that. And then a 2-1 loss to Bala. That's really what's kind of ruined the mood. Bala down in 10th. When you think, lost to Column Bay, okay. They're not far off of us, not the worst town. Newtown and Pennybond, both either side of us. But yeah, losing to Bala, down in 10th place, not a good result at all. If you think we'd have won that, they'd be on 19 points, and we'd been on 35, 16-point difference. We should be a lot better than that. But here is the team. Hope Akpan, by the way, hates me because I'm not giving him time. He wants to leave. He's stopped turning up for training. I don't know what to do with him. But it's Wes Williams, Sodi, Bartley, Taylor, Jones, Price, Andrews, Smith, Pritchard, Evans, and Williams as his lineup. Despite the fact these two supposedly don't play that well when they're together, the average ratings tells me a different story, considering they play most of their games together. I don't know why that is. Barney Sodi's average rating isn't great, and I think I could well drop him for Curtis Strong. He's been having a poor few games. As is Craig Pritchard, so I could in theory start Harry Warwick, but I feel like this front three, it's very consistent and developed together. And Tom Price's average rating is always going to be a bit low because of the position he is playing. Anyway, let's get into this game against Newtown. This is not the main event. This is very much the starter as we head into our main course and dessert all together. And let us continue. There is actually some big news to show you after this game. Please stay till at the very minimum after this game, though I don't know why you wouldn't wait until the cup final. But big news I will be showing you after this one. A little bit of drama going on around the club. Bartley there, a good tackle, a fall straight to Barton. Thompson forward now, a lot of Suns here. Sullivan, I don't know, that sounds like it. Ledger, oh, shot just over the bar. And that's been our main way we've conceded goals, is these long shots. And it's difficult to try and answer that. We don't have, a goalkeeper I'd trust to try and patrol the deeper side of this team. Jones, good tackle. It's kind of difficult. The main way I'd do this would be a 3 at the back, sort of having a stopper who would deny those long range shots. But I don't know. I feel like this tactics works so well not to worry about it. As Joe Andrews steals that tackle, races forward, no one really in support. He's going to have to try and use a bit of hold to play. Finds Alad Williams at the back post. And there is his 12th goal of the season. Equals Elliot Evans' tally for the year. And that is a lovely goal to put us 1-0 up against Newtown. Andrews, that's exactly what I want. Just constant, undying will to drive forward and win that tackle. And Alad Williams, a lovely finish there. Very composed. Though, we can't relax. 1-0 up, but Thompson's on the edge of the box, and this is a guaranteed goal. Seb Thompson equals things up just before the 20th minute mark. In the blistering rain. Yeah, you should think the more long range passing that we tend to use will be better with this rain. Obviously, shorter passing is struggling, but it feels like if we lose the ball, it's difficult to win it back, and it's going to definitely have a dampener on our ability to be constantly running when it's cold and it's freezing. It's a bit harder to have that work rate. Joe Andrews, and there is a lovely goal, an assist for Craig Pritchard. Joe Andrews pops up with a goal himself on the edge of the box. Very nice football there. The reintroduction of Curtis Strong doing very well as they sort of played their own little passing game. Strong and Pritchard, and then Andrews popping up in that edge of the box area. A bit of a Frank Lampard-esque goal. Now, of course, we're never going to get that top position, but third place, that's something we could fight for. Currently 5 points off of it, with 10 games still to play, of course. A lot can change in that time, but the New Saints haven't lost a game all season. There's no way we would ever be able to keep up with them, you've got to think. Higgs, looking to equal things up, and does, and it's 2-2, 40 minutes in. Tommy Lee Higgs, his first goal of the season. Again, we are poor defensively. We're good attacking wise, but defensively, there's a lot to be wanted for. Both teams, 2 shots on target, 2 goals as we head into this half-time break. And I'm telling the boys I'm happy. Again, we're massively overachieving. Last season we finished in 10th place. And that's kind of the expectation. So the team doesn't have those big goals set on them as it's 3-2. Seb Thompson gets his second of the night. And it's poor. And you do wonder, how do you answer these type of goals that we concede? Well, I notice a lot of it is from crossing. What if we try to stop crosses? Would that achieve anything? Well, we're going to see here as these 40 minutes have time to play themselves out. if maybe the concept of just stopping a cross will help. Harry Warwick has to replace Dixon. Sorry, doesn't replace Dixon Kabanga. Replaces Craig Pritchard, who has a slight injury. And Bartley will come off for Callum Reese. He's not having a good game. Leo Smith here with a corner kick. In. Price can get his head to it. Alfie Taylor collects. All the way back to Joe Andrews. Leo Smith. Strong. Penalty? And that will be a penalty. Who will take it is the question. Will it be Tom Price? It will be. Tom Price looks to get a goal and equal things up 62 minutes in. And does, underneath Granger, who dived the correct way. But it'll count for nothing. They need a win here to try and pick up that morale. Have a bit of confidence heading into this game against Afan Lido in the final. We will also be playing Afan Lido in the quarterfinals of the Welsh Cup. So, this is clearly a solid team. I think they're pushing for promotion into the Premier League, and you can understand why. Price finds Avan Jones. Evans forced to Harry Warwick, and there is his first goal of the entire season. Last year was a revelation signing, and it was this front three that was undroppable. But now he is the number one man off the bench and has only just gotten his first goal this year, looking to try and make a new return to this Cardiff Met Uni side. Back in the lead, thankfully 20 minutes left to go. This has been a great turnaround. What a goal for Harry Warwick to score. Joe Andrews is struggling on fitness. I have Dixon Kabongo. I'm never going to be scared to use this guy again, another regular starter from last year. And with time starting to tick away, I think it's only right we make a couple more changes, and that will be Ethan Vaughan. That will be Barney Sodi and Hope Akpan on to try and strengthen some of this defensive work. Also have some fresh legs. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of work from Newtown here to try and equal things up. Both teams have been flittering with the lead, and that's poor by Evan Jones. Hereford, Zelly Ishmael. Ishmael pulls it across looking for Higgs. Wes Williams there with a wonderful save. Big save there from Wes Williams. And the highlight's still on here. A possible counter-attack as Alad Williams drives down this right-hand side. As we saw, top assist there does have that ability. Kabongo, and that's just over the bar and didn't really threaten anybody. Harry Warwick forward, headed away, only as far as Alfie Taylor. Oof, bounces around there. It didn't ever feel like there was a goal possibility, but very good work there, just maintaining pressure. We're still attacking. I feel like it's worth it, trying to break Newton Town. And that is the end. 4-3. All goals coming from different players. Williams, Andrews, Price and Warwick. The difference in a Joe Andrews man of the match performance. Great work there from the midfielder as we get back our first win of the month. And that morale starts to move into such a good, such good momentum to have a big win like that to end off your season right before this cup final. And of course that means we stay in 5th place. But here is one of the first big news stories. The signing has just been confirmed. Josh Yorworth has now joined as a new centre-back on that left-hand side. As we were just mentioning previously, it hasn't been the greatest of times for Ryan Bartley, partnering Alfie Taylor. This could be a huge factor in our team starting to sort of move forward and becoming better and better. New centre-back, I'm very, very excited about that. Pritchard's only out injured for 1 to 2 days. Of course, our conference is drawn. We know who we're going to be facing: Carnarvon, Haverfordwest, Newtown, Pennybont and the New Saints. But the biggest news, not just Europe joining, we had a go at the Southport job. We didn't even make the shortlist and interviewed, which I'm not at all upset about. I didn't really want to go to England, just this was the only team I could join. Felt like this is Hope Apan being a knobhead. But it's right down here. Cardiff Met Uni takeover has been completed. Scott Davies stepped aside from his duties about a week before this, and George Phillips is the man who took over. Immediately after this, he said 16 grand into the club's coffers. No transfer budget's been allocated of £0, 0 pence. Alongside this, the transfer embargo was lifted, so he brought in Europe. And I said, can we get maybe a coaching badge? If we did, we'd have no reason or incentive to leave at the end of the year. That is not what happened. No, instead, they said essentially the same things over and over again. It's a vicious cycle, and it does seem as though we will be leaving the club at the end of the season. And this is what I mean by there aren't many teams I could manage. For example, JX Luchon or Jiangxi Luchon, I'd love to manage. 2.81 million valuation, doing okay in the National First Division, but sadly the job is not available anymore. And then outside of this, we're talking about teams who are at the bottom level of the league below us, and I doubt we're going to be able to get the England under-19 job. And they're the only teams really with any reputation that would take us. So that is why it's so vital right now that we have this cup win and we have another hopeful cup win in the Welsh Cup. To do that may be the difference factor as we likely leave the team at the end of the year. Anyway, let's see you for this cup final against Afan Lido. Toes and fingers crossed. Right, I've accidentally clicked on this meeting about the cup final and I have no clue what to do. I have really panicked. Basically, the problem is we are 100% better than Afan Lido, and we should be Afan Lido, but we shouldn't be winning the cup. So for example, we're definitely not hitting form. They're definitely not expected to beat us. We're a better team than Afan Lido. I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. Can I leave? Oh, thank God. It's so stressful going into that little thing because you've got no clue what to say. They're all so weird and I don't know. It's so weird that it's so difficult to just tell them, like, I hope you win. Like, it shouldn't have a negative effect. I think that's the thing for me is unless you say something extremely wrong, it should be a lot of, like, players weren't moved, if that makes sense. The team should stay expressionless and maybe 2 or 3 are a little bit happy. It shouldn't essentially be a win or lose column, and that's what it feels like. It feels like if I click the wrong button, we automatically lose. If I click the right button, we're more likely to win. And even then, the higher morale doesn't really improve us. We're not great, but we're already doing decently well. 2 wins in 5. We've just won a huge game, so I'm never entirely sure. I am, however, going to make my one mana change. Craig Pritchard is coming off for Harry Warwick. Just because, you know, he did score that goal in the previous game. I think it's only fair to try and reward him for that. Ben Haynes is not going to be part of the team. However, Dixon Kabongo most certainly is. So it will be Callum Rees, Ethan Vaughan, Kabongo and Apan. Callum Rees, Ethan Vaughan, Kabongo, Apan and Pritchard as our 5 substitutes. And I'm actually going to bring Callum Rees off. Bartley is out of the squad. Yorworth is in. I really like Yorworth. I'm going to trust him. His debut is going to be a cup final. Curtis Strong continues in on that left-hand side. Yorworth, not the number 10. The number 16, I don't like it, but it's the only real option for you. What is your opinion on numbering? I've got like a very strict idea, but a lot of it's just on what it ends in, if that makes sense. But there's so many, like a number 17 striker like Aled Williams totally makes sense. But it could also be, like, I'm not against the number 17 being a midfielder. 24, to me, that's not a striker position, though. Like, in theory, 24 shouldn't really have anything. But to me, that's a midfielder. And there's nothing involved in 2 or 4 that makes midfielders correct. Harry Waddock, number 24, makes it 1-0, though, immediately off of a throw-in. It feels like this, since the most recent update, throw-ins have definitely gotten more impactful. It's a lovely cross in by Avan Jones on that right-hand side. And it's a simple header for Harry Waddock, who could be, in 2 consecutive seasons, become a key part of our end of the season run. Ball in, bounces around, and at the back post, it's a debut goal for Josh Ewart. No one headed it to him. It was a poor clearance, and that is a lovely way to introduce yourself. 15 minutes in, what a debut goal that is. It's towards Aled Williams, who's never going to win it, but Orshon couldn't quite stretch and get a touch onto that ball. Ewart answers, and it's 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. Afan Lido are sinking without a trace, so to speak. This is massive. It could be our first cup win. However, we've seen before with West Ham in the past, if you remember that save, how quickly these type of results can switch on the head if you're not being safe. Couple minutes here, we are looking to come into the end of half time. Maybe a chance here to make it 3-0. It is Leo Smith on the ball. Swings that in, looking for Alfie Taylor and the 2 centre-backs linking up for goals there. Smith with the assist. Alfie Taylor, a lovely goal. Drove in straight into that sort of 6-yard box. Maybe you'd think that shouldn't be working, but right in the middle of the 2 defenders and too quick for Price Griffiths to answer back. A massive performance there, starting from the back all the way through the entire team. 3-0 up. Surely this is the chance for my personal first title or cup victory on YouTube, but Owen Coslett's first cup win of his surely long and illustrious career to come. Price back to Ewart. He's having a great debut day today. And now it's Alfie Taylor, the other centre-back. And that's a lovely ball over the top to Evan Jones into Elliot Evans. And the captain stroke assistant manager pops up with a huge goal to make it 4-0. Evan Jones with a second assist of the night. But that is lovely football. Every single player in this team linking up, driving the other one to achieve what they can. 4-0. An hour in, there's still half an hour here to maybe make this one for the record books. Murray forward to Orshon. Is Afan Lido still half an hour? They have time to fight back. Not when they lose the ball. That's simply to Jones. Joe Andrews forward. No one's there, but I'm glad he didn't try and take that down. We forced Afan Lido to try and break it. Back again, and Wes Williams collects. Twice there, they got into dangerous positions, but didn't have the composure to make something of it. But here is a chance. Shirley driving through and scores. Ryan Shirley makes it 4-1. We gave the ball away sloppily from Wes Williams. Just launched it up to a centre-back. That was poor. It must be said, it should have been a lot better than that. Elliot Evans, this is damn near a penalty. Evans, free kick, can he score? He's pretty good from set pieces. Scored 1 or 2 free kicks last season. Oh, it's off the crossbar, not far away at all. That was nearly a huge moment there. Creamer, that's a terrible name. In, headed up and over. Not all that dangerous, but certainly a part of me dropped. Williams is never coming off, I can tell you that much. Curtis Strong on the edge of the box, shot deflected. And right back with us here, Joe Andrews picking up in almost a left back position. Yoworth, really poor pass over the top. Hines, Griffiths, easy for Alfie Taylor. Smith, Andrews. What's Andrews going to see here? Very creative player. Looks for Alad Williams at the back post. Price Griffiths is there. We don't have a very tall attacking team. I don't know why we're playing so high. Weber, Creamer. Back to Hines. Looks for Touré. Wes Williams needs to come out. Does make a touch onto the ball, but it falls right back. And we've conceded to a player called Creamer. Hope Akpan on for Tom Price. Curtis Strong also off for Ethan Vaughan, the traditional right back turned left back for today. And the game starting to play itself out. There's a couple of changes I could make. 5 minutes left. Please do not throw this away. Ethan Vaughan clears it. Only as far as Lewis Evans. Back over the top. Wes Williams does collect that. What is wrong with this team right now? I should not be panicking as much as I am. I could bring Bartley on. Could bring on Kabongo. I'm looking at possible substitutions. Gonna do Dixon Kabongo, I think. For Joe Andrews. The centre backs are playing very well. Hines, Jacobson, James, Touré, Malloy. It's 4-3. It's 4-3. We cannot throw away a 4-goal lead with half an hour, surely. We're going to try and time waste some more. Play slightly lower, slightly shorter, a bit more disciplined. I can't believe this. I cannot believe it's 4-3 right now. And there's a highlight for Afan Lido. Do not do this to me. Murray. Williams driving in. Falls to Lewis Evans. Across. Shirley, that's offside. Right, Shirley was offside. Oh my fucking God. I'm going to throw up. This is disgusting. What on earth is happening right now? 92. 93. 94. Fuck yes! Yes, we finally win a cup. It was Navy at the end. What should have been a comfortable, damn near historic victory ended up in me shivering in me timbers. But it's 4-3 and Afan Lido fall at the final hurdle. Cardiff Met Uni lift the MG Cup for the first time in 6 years now. And up it goes. Elliot Evans lifting that high. What a match. It must be said, it was not at all what I wanted it to be. Very stressful. But in the end, we come together and we finally lift a trophy. Huge result for all involved. Thank you all for watching as Owen Kozlik gets his first title, but no one gives a fuck about him. I finally fucking won one. I hated that end. I will admit that I should never ever have been a 4-3 game. It was a 5-0, a 6-0 game. But my God, we actually did it. Yoworth debut goal was technically the difference factor, but in reality it was that goal from Elliot Evans that kept us in the lead. That fourth goal from the player assistant manager captain thingy. And he ends his goal drought with that goal. 10 grand into the kitty doesn't matter all that much, but what does is that is our second time ever winning the MG Cup since 2018-19. Evan Jones, man of the match performance, big signing him. Well, thank you all for watching. It has been stressful. It has been fun. I'm very glad to have finally won something. It's not going to have any effect right now on the Hall of Fame challenge, But there you are. We have 7 points into our total. And we are trying to get 5,550. Ignore this guy. Just so you know, like, this guy isn't real. It's from the 2012-13 database. Well, 13-14 database. I'm pretty sure he's the guy who made it. So we're trying to get over Alex Ferguson. Number 1 is Arsene Wenger on 2021. We're on 7. We're not far off. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.